Hi, folks. We are having so much fun here. This is the Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast, and as promised, the lovely Emily Parkman is here. And Emily is responsible for the lovely display and, of course, the interaction with Tony getting into this wonderful building. So we want to hear how did this unfold. All right. So let's welcome Emily Parkman to the table.
Thank you so much, John. Hi.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
So you are receiving a phone call for the first time, or is it email that's coming in from Tony about him wanting to show, or how did that start? How did that process begin?
Yeah, so Tony actually emailed.
Okay.
Okay. Very curious about displaying and showing his artwork in public places.
Right.
Which is perfect for what I do, and part of the job that I do for the city of Ocala is display artwork through our Art in City Spaces program.
Right.
Which allows the community to view local and Floridian artists in public places such as City Hall, this Recreation and Parks Administration building,
right,
as well as the Mary Sue Rich Community Center at Reed Place, and a couple other galleries.
So you are receiving this email and you're saying, okay, all right. Did you get more than one email from different artists, or was it just this one email coming in for you to vet and say, well, okay, we want to have this person display their work?
Right. So we actually receive on an ongoing basis applications for the Art in City Spaces program. Okay. What I'm currently trying to do is organize it and book out 2 years in advance.
Oh.
So right now I'm about 14 months in advance. So I'm trying to make sure that we have artists that will be able to display in a time period set with the city in a gallery space with the city. So we're constantly reviewing applications. I post open calls for artists to feel free to submit artworks or ideas for an exhibition with the city through social media and our city website, ocalafl.org.
So who does the actual screening to know whether this person's work is worthy of showing at these locations? I imagine you would want to edit some of the artists that are, saying, hey, I would like to be featured.
Yeah.
Some of the art may not be suitable, or is it, more or less you're open to most artists?
We are open to most artists. However, we do want to make sure it's appropriate for public places.
That's right.
We want children to be able to come into a public place and not feel unwelcomed.
Yes.
So it's important to us that it is appropriate for families.
Yes.
We also want to make sure that the space that we have is acceptable to the artwork. So unfortunately, Tony is also a sculptor and has giant sculptures that are 6 feet, and they're not appropriate for a space like this where I only have wall displays.
Yes.
So it's about making sure that the artwork that we're getting is right for the space physically as well as the content. So any application I get, I compile a review if I have enough artists, and then submit that review for the rest of my division. So the entire cultural arts division actually meets, looks and reviews all the applications and the artworks, and then discusses, potential gallery spaces, what would be appropriate,
right,
and then the time frames that we actually have.
Okay. So Tony is being looked at and he's approved. Mm-hmm. What are the next steps? Is it that he has to now bring all of his art to you and you will put it up for him, or he will be shown where to do it and he will just go there in that space and put up his artwork?
Yeah, so Tony, when he first emailed, had a number of proposed artworks that he wanted to display. And what I immediately ask is that all artists complete our Art in City Spaces application.
Right.
So it's the same application, and you have the artwork list and a proposed title or theme to the exhibition.
Right.
Someone like Tony was unique because his artwork is all over the place. So it was about narrowing down for Tony, okay, what's the theme? You know, do we have similar content that we can show? Is there, you know, an aesthetic appeal where the viewers will be able to understand that there's one artist, one exhibition. It's a cohesive visual exhibition that someone can enjoy. So once we kind of ran that in, we figure out these are all the artworks that would look nice. And so for Tony, because his work's also about the environment and recycling, we thought the Recreation and Parks Administration building in the Senior Center would be perfect. Because it helps promote recycling, cleaning up our parks, and taking care of, you know, Tuscarora Park, which is right next door as well.
Beautiful.
We then enter a contract with Tony after we agree with timeframes and the artworks and organize an installation date where I help the artist bring in the artwork, but they have to bring it to the actual space. And then I help install, with Tony's help, all of the artwork after creating a layout that seems cohesive.
Okay, so Tony, how did you go about deciding on which art to bring to these facilities?
So as we were going back and forth with email, you know, we came up with a theme. So the nature of recyclable art was the theme that we came up with, because of obviously the art being from recyclable materials, having the nature background. And I showed her different pieces that I had, and together we collaborated, and she helped me come up with, you know, a theme using some of the artwork that we have. And so that was really, really helpful. And then obviously we set a date, and then I brought up all the artwork, and then they have these wire systems here, so and we started hanging the art. She put together a wonderful schematic and layout on how the artwork was going to be laid out in the room.
Right.
And she's got a lot of knowledge, you know, about the height and spacing, and she just did a wonderful job. When I saw the layout, because in my head I could not see all of this artwork being in one room together, I was like, oh my God, we're going to cover up the entire room. There'll be no walls left. And so she had this really cool layout. And when we got it on the wall, especially this wall behind us was the first wall that we completed, and we both stood back, we were like, oh my God, it looks absolutely amazing. And it literally transformed this room.
Yes.
I mean, it was a little scary because I had I'd never been to this area of Ocala. I had no idea what I was walking into. Never met her in person before. I came to this little tiny building, and then when I literally came in, I had all these artwork boxed up, and then I came into this conference room thing, and I'm like, oh my God, what in the world did I just do?
Right.
And then she's like, okay, we're gonna, and by the way, it was like 120 degrees outside, and we were literally sweating to death. So, so we got to the layout part, and we started getting it up, and it really came, I just couldn't get over how well she put it together, from the entrance piece that you saw out there with the bio.
Yes.
It was done very well, and I told her too, because again, I haven't really been out that much. This was the fun afternoon I had in a long time. And I'm pretty sure my wife was very, very pleased that I was out of the house for an entire day and got to spend the entire day with Emily. So yeah, it was really cool. We actually had a really good time, and we hung a lot of art, and she did a great job. I can't give her enough props for what she has done and what she has put together.
So you are seeing his art for the first time.
In person.
And when he shows up with this box or what he came with all of this art, you are seeing this for the first time, and you have to conceptualize how to hang each one. How long did that process take? I mean, did you have to go through all of them to now begin to process, well, okay, I'm thinking these can go over to the other building, and some of them, you know, how did that
So I actually begin the layout and conceptualize it before I even see the artwork in person. So I work off the photographs that Tony provides me.
I see.
And then
I see.
I request dimensions of the artwork to help give a sense of size and space that I'm working with. So I already have the dimensions of the room.
Right.
And based on aesthetics, content, and size, I'll then create an initial layout that I think would potentially work well.
Right.
I then start with that layout for any exhibition, and then once I see the artwork in person, sometimes that changes.
Yes.
You might want to shift a piece. Like this wall, I had a fourth piece for it, but it was too much. Didn't provide enough space between the artwork, so I put that into the senior center. But for the most part, I'm able to think about the exhibition before the work is in my presence.
Right. So you receive these photos and dimensions,
Yes.
and then you have to figure out which ones will be in this building and the other building. It's a lot of work, Emily.
But I like also working with the artist to say,
Yes.
how does this make you feel? How are you enjoying the exhibition? Does this display, help promote the artwork in a way that you would like?
Yeah, it was a good day because I got to know a little bit more about her and her background, and she got to know a lot about me and my background, and it was a really good day.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed myself. It was fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Yes, we did.
What I'm hearing there is again, and this is one of the things I love about Ocala, is how the community is working hand in hand. So how long would his artwork be displayed at these two facilities?
So at the beginning of this year, 2023, we switched to 6-month exhibitions.
Oh.
And that's because I'm working with 6 gallery spaces. And that's a lot of work to change out galleries every month, let alone quarterly. So we decided to do, 6-month exhibitions if the artists are amenable to having their artwork loaned out for that extended period of time.
Okay. And so people can come into these facilities and look at the art and purchase whichever one they are interested in.
Yes.
Okay, so my man here, he has 6 months to, sell out.
Well, I actually I don't sell any of the artwork.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. None of the artwork is for sale.
Okay. So I get to have one.
I mean, I decided, when I started creating the art that I do, I enjoy getting it out there and promoting and educating.
Right.
That is I never set out to do artwork to generate for profit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
My whole mission was to educate people on environmental issues and plastics in the environment. I love using the artwork and having it out there. And truthfully, a lot of these pieces, I could look at one painting and I remember distinctively the day I created it, what was going on, what was happening in my life. So there is a lot of emotion attached to it.
Yes.
And I haven't gotten to that point where I wanted to sell the art. I just using it to bring attention to, those issues that I feel dear to.
So, folks are coming in to look at these wonderful art that you did.
You're very kind.
And, no, I mean, it is beautiful. I like how you used the colors, especially, the tone of the colors. What I like about it, there is not like there's one color that is standing out. I like how you really balanced all of the colors so you could see the actual art. Someone is coming in, they like one of the art in particular. It's, they are drawn to it and they want to purchase this art. So what is it you say to them, or the people here, is it something you say to the folks that are coming in, the art are not for sale, do you take them back with you, or do you give art or donate these art to different people or places, or all is going back with Tony at the end of the 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, after the end of the contract, all the art will come down, and yes, all the art will come back to me.
Except one from me.
I know that their program does that. She could speak more about that than I'm not, knowledgeable on how that type of arrangement takes. But I just know for me, none of the art pieces are for sale.
Right.
And
right.
That's just my thing. She could probably elaborate more on that than I can.
So, are you seeing at some point, Tony, like a space that you may consider creating that would serve as an educational space for all of the work you've created? Because you have a lot of stuff. I mean,
yes.
the pig and the, flamingo and all of the stuff you've created, and you are constantly growing. At some point, you might need a facility that you could put everything up and just have people, is that the outcome?
Now that you mention that, my very wonderful, beautiful, intelligent wife has already leaped to that.
Oh!
And so she has been toying with the idea of opening up a space in the Gainesville area and just having a space to display the artwork there that people can come and see it. That's been something that she's been toying with. So we went out to Tech City. I forgot the name of the place.
This is in Gainesville?
Yes.
Okay.
We went out there, looked at a space there. She was also considering a space downtown Gainesville.
Right.
So we're trying to figure that out. But yes, I think the end goal is she would like to set up like a home base for the artwork somewhere.
And just have a flow through of folks coming to experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
But I would love to learn about when that side of it is established, so we could also pay you a visit there.
I would love to learn about that side of it too.
You would love to?
She'll tell me when she's ready.
Yeah. So Emily, so you said you are connected to other spaces besides the one that is shown now for Tony's work. And you have to be months in advance. Mm-hmm. So you said, but you are receiving applications. Is it an ongoing thing or do you have a deadline, or you open up a certain period for folks to submit, and then when you close off, the 6 months goes and then you start another process, or it's continuously receiving applications?
It's a rolling basis. So continually, I will be more than happy to continually receive applications.
Right.
I just, when it comes to like promoting open calls, every so often, every few months, I will post on social media.
Right.
Hashtag open call, and then, on the Ocala Cultural Arts social media and website, we always make the call known with media releases as well. That you can find the applications on our website. Right. And that you're more than welcome to apply whenever. There is no deadline, unless you want to show right now, and then the deadline has passed.
Oh, okay.
Because we booked so far in advance.
Yes.
I can't do something immediate because I already have, the next artist in line. So, we have to look a year to 2 years down the line. But I have been working with artists that are more than happy to create specific artwork for an exhibition. So a year to 2 years down the line helps them have time to create artwork for this exhibition. So
an artist is looking at this podcast and would be interested in learning how to get in touch or submit an application. Is there a website to go to for that?
Yes. So our city website, www.ocalafl.org/cultural arts.
Okay, so and that is coming up on the screen in case you didn't hear. The F for fun, L for love. All right, so they go there and they will find the application.
Correct.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And there's instructions. We also have some helpful information regarding having frames or hardware ready for installation. So we prefer to use D-rings as opposed to wires for artworks that are two-dimensional based. Due to our wire hanging system, it helps with stability and security of the artwork.
Go over that once more. So the detail in terms of hanging these artwork, you said D-rings?
Correct. So it's a specific hardware where we have a helpful information guide on our website to show artists how to install the D-rings.
And you say that allows for the art to sit better.
Yes. It's more secure and stable, so they don't move when a door opens, or if there's wind, they'll stay.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. So, Tony, when was the first showing? When did you start hanging up your work in this building?
Well, this was the first time I ever been here, and that was on the 13th.
On the 13th, okay.
We came and we did the install, and like she said, they tell you make sure you have the correct hardware, so it made the install process go very well. And again, she already had the layout, they already know the spacing, and she's extremely meticulous, by the way.
Right.
And so we did it. Everything came out straight as an arrow, and I won't pick on the laser ruler she was using, but she is NASA accurate when it comes to hanging this stuff. But no, it went over really well. We had a great time, and yeah, as long as you follow. Again, I'm used to these things, so I pretty much knew what I was going into. You got to have everything prepared, everything packed. Obviously, you don't want any of the artwork to get ruined or damaged, and that's always an artist's scary thing, because all of us have an attachment to our artwork.
Yes.
So when we leave our baby somewhere,
that's right.
We want to make sure when we come and pick it up that everything is still intact and it's not ruined and destroyed in any way. So they did a great job of the layout. It was really great. To be honest with you, this was the first time. Most places I've gone to, they had a crew there and they would put it up, and you really didn't. There was really not much for you to do. So when I came here, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to do it together." So they did take me for a loop. I was like, "Wait a minute," So it's like, "What do you mean we're going to be doing it together?
Yeah.
Do you know who you're working with here?" And she definitely has a lot of patience, and she made it through the entire day. She probably had to take some asprin after a while. She's like, "Oh my God, this guy's going to drive me nuts." But yeah, we it all went up pretty easy, and it came out. She did a hell of a job. I really give her a lot of credit for what she pulled off. Again, this is not what I would consider a usual space.
Right.
So what she did here was really great.
So Emily, what are the days and times that the public can come by to see the paintings?
Yes. So Mondays through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The public can enter the administration building, request to see the exhibition, and if there's no meetings or it's not disruptive, they're more than welcome to enjoy the art.
So this building is this is the administrative building.
Correct.
And then you said it's also
at the senior center.
The senior center. So the senior center is literally like about 10 footsteps away, more or less. It could be 15.
Yeah.
But it's just like a neighbor building. So, all right. And that's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Correct.
Monday through Friday.
Correct.
No Saturday.
No weekends.
The artwork needs to sleep.
Yeah, it needs to rest.
Yes. So this display, Tony's display, would be up until like about November, if my maths serve me well. Is it 6 months? So is it
December.
November? It goes till December. You celebrating Christmas in the space.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be cool.
beautiful. All right. Well, Emily, thank you very much for coming on and sharing this wonderful, the work you and Tony did together and the work the cultural arts is doing in Ocala. We want to say thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
sir.
Tony, again,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast, folks, and be safe out there. See you again next time. Bye for now.